I'm going to. Okay, start to share my screen and start to record. Okay, so good reason, no busy, so at least I know. Here is our folder, a little introduction how to use the basic thing, double click folder. That's class 1, 2, 3, 4. Today we're going to start class 5, right mouse click, new folder, class 5. And what I do normally always start from previous class to open this notepad, or you open. So we start from previous class. And here's have a lot of junk thing. Today I try to make it simple. So I copied the basic thing is new. So this is the top portion. Start from here. So this is the necessary HTML top portion. It's the bottom portion. We need to finish the tag. All right. Okay, first time save and ask me to give a name. I'm going to go to class 5 and give a name. Class 5 exercise 1.htm. And the bottom, I make it nothing, no type. I gave the type I want. All right, this is the basic page. So here's my folder. I go up. So because I'm in the last class, I want to go to the class 5, which is our 5. Double click it to open it. This is my web. It's nothing. So I add something, make sure I have it. H1 and put an end tag right away. Class 5 title. And here's H5. Today is 14. Save it. And then refresh it. Okay, good. We have, so this is our coding, our HTML5, and this is our web page. So the first, I will start to review what we learned from last class. Last class, we introduced styling. So we gave a block of text a color. You see here is span with end tag span, which is block this text. And this span with style color red. So this section is red color. And another one is color You see here is color red, means text color is red. Here is P tag different. It's style color is RG. I think this must be yellow color. FFFF. And we have a color, text color, and the background color. And this is colored background and foreground. So it's color. And we also introduced text alignment. You see, style, text align, colon, center. And another one is font style, Verdana, text align center. So text align center is just this style. We can use a semicolon to add different style. So we put all this together, we save it, and we see what we have. You see here's background. Yeah, my guessing is correct. It's a yellow color because it's R is red, G is green, and B, so blue is 0. So when you do more enough, you know this color code. And this gray, the background is gray. And this just align center. And this align center has the font. So the font name, if you have, most time the font color is almost like a word. It's very similar to this one, but not always. For example, Arial. If I use this one, ARIAN, you know, this. Spell right. ARIAL. No. Okay, that's changing the font. So the best way, you don't have to remember anything. We always go use some tools to help you, so you don't have to remember anything. And if we want any font format, it's not. This is the color font. Even have a special character format. Tools, tables, format. Text color. Okay, I think a font may be very hard, so they did not put a font here. So font name. So in that case, we have to search the internet. And I do have some code to do the font, but any tools will help font. I use like a Microsoft kind of very, very old way to do it. And I normally here's split. And I want to here's, I wanted to know the font name. So you always depend on some kind of tools to help you. You see font, New Roman. You see here's all the font. And it's just like, you see here is give me the font, L black. So anyway, you need a good tool. I think this tool should give me the font. It's just somehow I haven't found it. See here's if. Okay, so that's what we have from last time. But this is just to tell you the tag. And so this is a quick review what we have from last time. Okay, question. How do you bring up split screen? I don't think anyone have this software anymore. This the Microsoft front page. It's a very, very old program, and the Microsoft does not support anymore. It's 2000, I think 2003 or 2000, yeah, 2003, very, very old. Microsoft doesn't want to support it. It's like a PageMaker, Photoshop has like something, yes, called PageMaker. And that's fancy. It's all costs a lot. And so I don't use that, and I don't think I need it. I normally just code in the notepad like this. And if I want to need anything, I use this front page. And it has a split view, and I can see the text and see the code. So this, I get a lot of code. And all this menu, almost the same like Microsoft Word. So very easy to use. That's how I do it. That's why I found these tools for you is kind of similar. And let's see, can give more. Table, you see, just don't have a font. As a print, as image, has text alignment, and the show code, that's code. And the reason I like it is this side, you see what you say, and other side, you see the code. Is very close to what I have, which you all have access to it. Preview, edit, paste. See, the only thing they don't have is not they don't have a lot of things. It's one thing they don't have, font. Tools, source page, that's source page. Table. Okay, that's finished to the review. Any question? Okay. Today we are going to introduce a table. You know, table is a very useful thing. And at all the time, people even use a table to do the page layout. For example, top like certain way, and then this align the text to certain way, almost like a newspaper, right? Has a column. So how to get a table? And I have to use the tools. Here is table. And you can insert table as 1 column, 3 column, 4 column, whatever you want. And for example, 3 by 2. You come here. I delete everything. All right. This is my text at the center. I want a table. So I move to the center. I have the format of I don't want a bold. I want a title text. I think I have it. And how do I want the table? Here's insert table, 3 column, 2 row. Here's what I gave you. Look the tag. You see, here is, we have the code. P tag, style text align, center. And here is, if we don't want the center, we want the left. You see here, text align left. If we want the right, and I click here, it's moved to right. And here's center. Okay, so I have another paragraph because I want a space in between. So anything I type here, no matter how long, how many space, it's not going to affect anything to the page. So the page is totally controlled by the tag, not by the, we call it is space character, such as space, enter. So look the table. Table start with table and end with slash table. And for this table, they gave borders 1 and they gave a style border collapse. The border collapse means very thin border. And we can, and also you see the width 100%. So this means whatever the screen size, it takes the entire screen. So we have 3 columns. So each one, see, TR means the start of the row. And the TD means the first column, first cell. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. You see here, the first cell, second cell. And if it's gave a height, that's fine. If we want just the height, that's the height. How many pixels. If you don't give the height information, it will just like the text height. It will end that. And you see here's this row and the 3 cells, a 3 column and the row end. I take the table out. It's always compacted. And then the second row and the second row end. Here is the table body end. Here's table. The T body, and here's another P paragraph. So we have a lot of options for the table. If I see border equal to 3, see what happens? That's equal to 3. And that's the total table height. If I see 100, that table will be bigger. And another thing I want to do, most time, if you want the text display perfect, but you don't want to see the table, that's what you get. And cell 1, cell 2, that's is here's row 1, cell 1, and here's row 2, cell 1. All right, so this is our table. You see, if we want to lay the text nicely like a table view, but we don't want to see the border, you use a border equal to 0. Okay, we copy the code here, table, all the way to here. Now we come here to see, refresh. See, here is what we have. Row 1 is scattered. But if I put the border in, you see here it has a border. We know what it looks like. And if we don't want the border, for example, especially when we see what time we open, we see here is if we want like an office time, start from what time, end to some time. For example, here's like a movie 1 start and movie 2 start end, and that's we like use a table. And the reason is why text is so big. We look H1. You see, I have an incorrect H1 and I didn't type it correctly. So that means H1, the header text, all the way to the bottom. So I have to end this H1. So this way, rest of the text will be not defined. It's just default. So, and we want this title to be center. So we will copy this text align center. So this style can be applied to any block code. What I call block is a tag to group this thing as a one unit. So we can put this style under the span, under the P tag, H tag, all even in this, you see, table, it's a TD, is a cell number. So as long we put in a kind of a tag to group things together, and the style will apply to the, from the beginning to the end of this block. Okay, at least we make a title looks a little better. Here is, look the table. It is 100%. You see, when I do this, until it cannot move anymore because they have some kind of default minimum size. You see, it's nice. It's always this. It's a shrink 100%. And also here's table. I can make it, here is the height is 100 pixel. If I don't have a height. if I don't have a height, the total height will be controlled by the rest of this. You see, I control this height, I control this height. Now, for example, TR, the first row, if I say I want the first row to be 50 pixel, and then the first TD, I don't, because I already defined this row is 150 pixel. So each column, I don't have to define the height anymore. It's this is, you can put any way you want to give a height to each one, but it's going to cause more confuse because you tell the row is one size and tell the cell is different size. So there's a conflict in each other. It's not going to cause problem, but you just don't know which one take effect. You see here is we don't know because I remove, we just look this, the first row. So table, row, 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 take this out. So this is the row command from beginning to the end. Here's the cell command. If I don't give the height, say, it's just naturally where it go to where it go, because you see here text 2. If I put this row 1, not put a paragraph, just one paragraph. Let's see what I'm going to do. You see, it's one paragraph. That's the height will be the default. It's going to stretch by the size of the text. If I write a long text, see what's going to happen. Row 1, cell 1. You see, it is confined in this area. It will circle around. But look at others. It always put in the middle. And this is just how it's a default. And of course, there's more way to control this to top or to the bottom. That's going to be more command is needed, which is all controlled by this called style. Almost like this. You see text align center. That's going to be vertical align center left or right. And we still need to use our friend here to do it. Format. Table. Row. Insert row. So that's what I say is, so far we learned the basic, and after this basic is when you start to write a web page, you're going to find I need something else. So you have to constantly search on how can I do this, how can I do that, and that is the HTML. This last time I introduced, I think that's the class summary. here is basic tag list. So each tag, even this table, it's just going to give you all of them. So you cannot remember, no one can remember all the tags, all the details. So it's the only way to do it. Just try it, practice it. And I think in next lesson, since half of the people not even practice, today's fifth class, I think from next class, I'm going to design a web page. So you just watch me to design a website. And we use only the basic information we introduced, not going to make anything too fancy, because that's what it's called software engineer. That's why they go through the college and the plus constant study. All right, any question? Just let you see, that's why when you have a tool, it's so important. You see here's, I can do table like this, and without the tool, you cannot do too much. And here is the second. The reason is I have extremely basic table. You see, I table and the row and the cell. You see, I don't give any size except the top is width. So the thing is keep moving around because I'm not changing anything. Just for others, you see here, if this line is on the middle, I don't want it this way. That's why I have a whole bunch of tools. And then I can see cell property. You see horizontal align default. If I see horizontal align center, vertical align default, that at the middle, I see top. And the row span, that's something else. And the background color, you see border color, if I see red. Background color, if I see gray. You see, that's what I got. I have the text go to top and the background color. So that's what I say. I'll find a good tools, and it's crucial to do the work. But the bottom line, we need to know what this is. So when the tool behaves strange, not to do the thing we want, at least we can go here to review it. You see here's table, it's a highlight, TR, the first row, second TR, the second row, and TD, that's the first cell, and TD, the second. You see here's background, align center, vertical align top, background this. So if not behave the way I want, I can remove it. And that's back to the default minimum, the very basic one. So That's why I find these tools, I think it's similar, give you start up. I still try to find the font. Never can find one. View. Block, paragraph, at least give a header. Alignment, yes, here's the alignment. Left, right, center, right, just fine. Clear format, table. Okay. Okay, I just, any question?
有一个 question，
Okay.
就是有个人 they're wondering about how you can make a table of contents.
Okay, the question is, what do you mean table content? Is a menu or is like a book table of content, or can you, oh, like a drop down menu? Okay. I think a drop down menu, if this is the question you ask, drop down menu will be very complicated code. And in our class, what I recommend is that I start next time. I'm going to write a true website, multiple pages with pictures. And in our case, we're going to, here's class 5. We just make a title. We're going to make a link like this. Page 1, vertical bar. Page 2, bar. Page 3. Oh, how guys, I call link. Link. Okay, we see what it looks like. I know I have some kind of mistake, and I'm going to show you why it has some kind of mistake. You see here, link 1, link 2, and then you see the next text, red color text right after it. You see, because the reason is we have not used the paragraph tag. So anything if don't have a tag, it's going to just flow next to each other. So we have to group this to use P. That's a paragraph. See here, it's become paragraph. This drop to the bottom. And the last time I mentioned is another tag. It's called div, div, D-I-V. It's a division. It's similar like P. If you don't do anything, it's like a P, but it's more like a span. This one itself doesn't, it's basically just group things together. Don't have a lot of feature to it, but it's a good way, just like span, group things together. So we can use this to, after it, to use all kind of style, everything. For example, I use this. So we can manipulate without the interfere of the tag itself. Because each tag is already its title, it has its characteristics. And the P has its characteristic of itself. But the div and the span doesn't have anything. So that's, if you see a website, and look this website, or maybe just look my website, view the source. You will see the div is used a lot. Basically half the page, because we use a div to control how it's going to be displayed. It's fully controlled. So the div, it's go down here. So the div, you see here, I save it. Class 5. You see, I apply the tag font family, text alignment. So it's go here, but it's not like a paragraph tag, has a space in between. It's just next line right after. So if we want a paragraph, in our case, it's fine. After I use this paragraph, because paragraph will have an actual line after it. You see, the thing is a drop down. So paragraph, it has its own characteristic. So, and we never going to cause problem if we like double, like a P and the div, and inside has another P, as long we it's pair them properly, is include one each other. Is if you put this, for example, div outside the P, it's not going to pair. It's not inside. It's nested. It's kind of a spaghetti. That's not going to work. But as long you're fully inclusive, it works. So there's a little bit like a real website. You have a title, you have a link, and this link, if I want to go, I want this link to, for example, I need to add a link. I need to add a link tag. Oh, link 1, link 2, 3. Here is similar. If I want to give a link, because we cannot remember how we link tag, and then google.com. Okay, here's the link. I have to find it. Here's google.com. Link 1. Link 2, http yahoo.com. And then we can see here, we're changing text. Yahoo. Okay, we can go here and to edit it, and we make text. Google. So google.com, yahoo.com, and the link 3. I will see my page. HTML. You see it's It's my page. So have you looked this? If I go here, if it's outside the page, Google P tag, A tag, and make it clear. So this paragraph end. I want to see it's clear. You see P that controls the whole thing, and inside we have copy this to here. Google Yahoo My Page. If you go to internet, other website which has a domain name, you have to give HTTP / and some web page you can have a www, and some page with or without www is okay. So as long as any website which is not belong to yourself, it's someone else's website which has a domain name, you put HTTP, that call is, it's called the protocol, it's internet protocol, how to find it. If it's inside your own website and you just give the full file name, if it's in the same location as your file, you just give a file name, it will find it. If it's in the subfolder, you give a subfolder / and for example, subfolder and the /. In the internet, we always use forward /. We don't use backward /. But in Microsoft, it's if in our Windows system, a lot of time we use backward /. So that's why when you write a web page, you do a baby step. It's a certain thing, they don't accept you. You have to write a little and then you see, oh, something wrong, and revert back to get correct. Vertical alignment. Okay, here is where the table property selection handle the vertical alignment. Yes, and I'm sorry to use my own tools because other tool want to give me a good. See here, cell property, vertical alignment to bottom. You see to the bottom, and here is. I need to find the cell. You see here, vertical alignment, vertical bottom, and this definitely the tool I use is so old and use older version. If today's version, it will ask you to do style equal. I'm sorry, I have like confused you a little bit, but that's just the life of internet. Yes, style ver, so match this one. You see, text align center, here ver align bottom. Copy this. I'm not see table, the second one. That's why I use this I separated them. You see, this is the first row, this is the second row, this first column, second column. I will see, I think that's style. Okay, cell 2, that's what. All right, so is now to write a word. Okay, now we have to find, that's we have to search internet. HTML vertical alignment. I use W3. So that's the website I use. Okay, vertical align, text top, text bottom. Okay, it's a get. Vertical align, text bottom. I want it at the bottom. Why is go to top? Let's see what happens. Vertical align. You know, I don't want to go to that deep. It's just the question you ask a little bit complicated. It's beyond our class. And I still use this one. It's really easy control. It's even, so I'm sorry for that. I can search, okay, at the web, WYSIWYG. And that is stand for what you see is what you get. Is this editor, you write a web page, is what you see is what you get. And this is the code part. So all the web designer or developer, they use this what you see, what you can get tools, which is in my case, this is also, this is what you can see is what you get, because here's what I see and what I get. But on the bottom, on the root, you still have to learn the code. So our class is introduced the tag, the code, and it is best for you to search internet, just to search this WYSI, WYG, and you search this. I think that's the first class I want you to. Oh, it's not copy. What you want to do is test online or offline editor. I have searched, that's what I found online one, so you don't have to download, but you can, here is the best. Some, I have, you know, I have tried all, not all of them. I constantly try a lot of them. So far, I don't like any of them. That's why it's, you see, Dreamweaver, it costs a lot. I think the people, they use a Windows and the Macintosh, and I use it too. This very, very, very good too, but it's very expensive. And Wix itself, I don't know, is they have a service. You can sign up to their account. At their account, they have something like this. And you can design your website, and you don't know what's really behind it, and you design the website, and then it looks just like that. But when you want to see the code, you always can do view page source. See here, right mouse click, view page source. It will be like huge. It's going to be like this. View. I just use ours. Yes, it's going to be huge. You really cannot, don't know what it is. It's just have, so you see, just like this, so many code behind, and you don't know what it's doing. So I still suggest what we learned is the basic knowledge. If you have this basic knowledge, you do very slowly, use these online tools. This you basically have to have an account, to have a website host in their place, and they provide your tools. And yes, Kit, yeah, this set of free. So I think is if you have a free time, go search internet, find a good tools, either online or offline. I suggest to find offline. This is offline. And tools, just like what I have offline, I can do whatever I need and don't have to purchase their thing, their product, coffee cup. I think this one is a good one, is online. You see, is split feature. Okay, just a full second. I stop recording, so I share my screen and keep answering your question.